Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video, and this video is going to cover everything you need to know for Portal to the Unknown level 1. This is the easiest of the 3 raids, and I will have a video detailing everything different in raid 2 and 3. So if your clan is currently doing Portal to the Unknown level 1, and they have finished that, there will be another video that you can watch showing you everything that's changed or things that might be adjustable that can help you progress through that level of raid. So to open this level of raid, you are going to need 9,333 portal stones. 16 of your 30 members can enter this raid, and the recommended player level is between 55 and 65. I've also taken the time to make a list of heroes I recommend for players to use in Portal level 1. Now it is very important to note that characters you use mid-game may not be as useful late game. If you are interested in the heroes that will be useful late game, feel free to watch one of the other raid videos and find out, but these are the heroes I recommend for mid game. Now, unless some of these heroes get buffed, this is just how it is at the moment. Some things could change in the future, but as of right now, these are the heroes I recommend. Now, a more experienced player may look at this list and think, some of these heroes are useless, you're never going to use these heroes. But for a mid-level player, you're going through the stages of the game where you're raising these champions up to do events in the game. So they may naturally be some of the strongest champions in your roster. Characters like Hagram, for example, useless late game, but mid game, he does do a lot of healing, he's quite tanky, and he's able to remove debuffs from your allies, and that may be very effective against the arrogant Undead team, who rail your team with debuffs. Then you have someone like Kobold Spear, who from those early to mid-game levels does do a lot of damage. He may be very useful. And then you have Hound. He's a free hero, very easy to get, and he does have the ability to put a character to sleep. He's got that CC. He may not be as useful as other CCs in the game, but for those people that are making their way through the game, you're going to need Hound for Succubus, so you've got that champion already. Use them. They could help you a lot. There are also champions on this list that are very, very difficult to get for those medium level players. However, I've put them on there because if you can get them, they're going to prove very useful for you. The only character who's kind of iffy is Danae. She's a great hero, do not get me wrong. Her counterattack is going to help a lot. Any damage you can get out is going to help your team massively. However, she does fall off a tiny bit late game, and she's a difficult hero to get. So weigh her out if you're going to decide to go for her, but other than that, those are the champions I recommend for medium level players. Again, this is just a recommended list. This is just feedback I've got from people in the community who are participating in this raid. If you have a team that works for you, continue to use it. I'm not telling you have to use these champions. These are just champions I've heard do very well and that I've experienced that do very well. So do what works best for you. Raids can be quite the endeavor, but the community helps the best they can. Zealoid is one of those members, and he has gone out of his way to make maps available to all players to allow you to plan the best route possible for your clan to take. These maps help significantly. They show you the power level of nodes, they show you the mini bosses on the map, they show you the boss on the map. It even shows you the amount of power you need to beat overall to meet that 30, 60 and 100% completion. If the map is something you're interested in and you want to use it for yourself or your clan, I'll put a link in the description for you. The link will contain a map overview for Portals to the Unknown level 1, 2 and 3. Now, by participating in Portal to the Unknown level 1, you'll be facing 4 different factions. And going off feedback I've got from the community, I've decided these are the levels of the factions you will be versing. The easiest of the 4 factions to verse are the Demons, the medium level factions are the Dwarves, and the hard level factions are the Arrogant Undead and the Kobolds. Now again, more experienced players will look at this difficulty rating and think to themselves this is completely wrong. But remember, we are not catering for max level players or experienced level players. This is for the medium level players. And at medium level, you're fighting with champions that do not have that massive health pool that max level players have. So factions like the Kobold, who do a lot of damage and are quick, are very, very damaging to those medium level players, as they can take out characters very quickly. Arrogant Undead, on the other hand, is slightly different to the Kobolds. They don't deal so much in massive damage, they deal more in negating healing. And for medium level players that don't yet have a full roster, who may not have many healers, losing healers to a faction like the Arrogant Undead are going to be very damaging to you and your participation in a raid. I've put dwarves at a medium level. I understand that the last boss you verse in the raid is a dwarf. However, they are quite slow, so any quick team or any characters that can slow down enemies or stun enemies, you're going to find very effective against dwarves. They're not going to be as strong as, say, the arrogant undead and kobolds. And then I put demons as easy because compared to the other three factions, they shouldn't be too hard to deal with. Sure, they do have their strengths, but out of the four factions, they should be the easiest to deal with. So I've made little info sheets detailing the strengths of each faction. Kobolds rely heavily on buffing each other, and those buffs come with speed and damage. They're very quick, they have great evasion, and they can avoid a lot of attacks. That's where a lot of their damage does come from, because they can avoid being killed, and then they hit you for a walloping amount. They have a high crit chance. The Kobolds have some of the champions in the game that contain the highest natural crit chance, so just watch out for that. If you are a clan leader, it's best to put your strongest members against this faction, because for those less experienced or those people with a lesser roster, this faction could be very difficult to deal with. After that, we have the demons. Now, the demons are very manageable. Their greatest strengths aren't really that great at a mid-level. High level, sure, they could be a bit more dangerous, but at mid-level, you don't have to worry so much. You do have Hound, who can sleep a target for a turn. You do have Succubus as well, who can silence several characters. And you do have Zart, who can raise the evasion of demons by a significant amount. But overall, they're not doing anything to your team that's destroying it. Like, there's nothing you can't deal with. Nothing a tank can't help you with. Like, if you put a tank on your team, take a bit of that focus of your damage dealers, they should be very manageable. Next, we have the Arrogant Undead, which are arguably the hardest faction for mid-level players, simply because, like I said before, you do not have that complete roster. And this team specializes in preventing you from healing. You've got Blood Mage, who has a passive that reduces healing. He also has an ability that every time you are healed, you instead take damage. So a massive nuisance. Then you have Arrogant Shadow, who can just outright prevent healing for several turns. If you are a new player, you don't have a lot of healers, and you can't get through this faction is going to prove very difficult, because no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to get your character's health back up to full. And if you do manage to get past the stage, you're probably going to be at a disadvantage going into the next stage if you don't have those healing kits, or you don't have gold to spend to heal your characters. Lastly, we have the Dwarves. This will be the last node you verse on the map. They're a very resilient race. They have strong support units. However, they are a very slow race. They're not horrible to deal with. There are situations where they can get some pretty devastating combos off, but overall, they are not very difficult to deal with compared to the other factions you could be versing in Portal to the Unknown Level 1. As well as that, being the last node you verse on the map, you will at that point, hopefully, have other clan members around you, which can all pummel into the same node at once and get it done. Lastly, I just have a few tips and tricks. Number one, communicate with your clan. That is the most important thing ever. Communicate. If you can't finish a node, let your clan know. If someone hasn't joined the raid yet, they can come in behind you and help you out. It's going to save your clan getting to the very end and saying, hey, Rebecca or Jason, hurry up and finish that node so we can get 100%, and then you being like, listen guys, about that, my lawnmower doesn't start and I've got to go fix it real quick. Just communicate. It's going to help you heaps. Number two, plan accordingly. Study the faction you are fighting and learn how they operate. This is just more about learning how your characters work and how the enemy works. For example, do not waste a rock stun when the risers of the Arachne have dug underground. You're wasting part of the stun. Sure, there might be a situation where you need to use the stun to help you get through that next round so you can get your heal off, but using the ability ineffectively can cost you the battle. Number three, do not use auto battle. Please, please, please do not use auto battle. There are players out there where it doesn't matter. Sure, if you've got a lot of healing kits, if you've got gold, then by all means, auto battle away. But there are situations where you're going to look away, you're going to turn back, and your team's going to be dead, and you're not going to understand what happened. Raids are made to be very difficult, and then if you lose your team because of a mistake, you're not just letting yourself down, you're letting your clan down. And all of a sudden your lawnmower's not working again, and you got to bugger off real quick and fix it, and you're not going to get that 100%. Number four, if you get into trouble, leave the battle. It's far more cost effective for you to leave a battle regain your 10 stamina and use healing kits to heal up characters than it is for you to try and get the most out of the 10 stamina you've already used, have heroes die, and then revive them. Healing characters with healing kits is far more cost effective and better management of your resources than reviving characters. So just do not be afraid to get out of the battle, waste that 10 stamina, heal your characters back up, and then enter it when you can. Number 5, help your clan leaders. If you are not an already established clan that has everything sorted out, dealing with raids along with everything else that is involved in running a clan, example, recruiting, dealing with people leaving the game, personal issues, and you do find that clan members do kind of push personal issues onto you as well. It can be quite overwhelming, so doing your part in the clan can go a long way, even if it's just really small, like suggesting someone take a different path, or, you know, going to that link with the raid maps and trying to sort out paths people can take. Obviously, don't overstep your boundaries, but in the end, it is your clan as well. You are there to help everyone, and having one that runs smoothly is going to make things a lot easier for everyone. Anyway, guys, I think I have covered about everything I need to cover for Portal to the Unknown Level 1. Hopefully, this helps your clan even a tiny bit and helps you push further a tiny bit more until you know you enter Portal to the Unknown Level 2 and then 3, and then all of a sudden you're one of the best clans in the world. That's the goal. I just hope that it has made things that tiny bit easier. As usual, thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. And until next time, take care of yourself.